Hello, this video is going to review how to use Blackboard Collaborate Ultra in a hybrid classroom setup. Blackboard Collaborate Ultra is a web conferencing system that is integrated within D2L. You can actually use this with other web conferencing systems, however, Skype, Zoom, Teams, etc. It'll be pretty much the same. So the hybrid classroom setup in this video is going to be reflected with half the students being in the face-to-face classroom and then half the students being online off campus using Ultra to remote into the session. So this is going to give the faculty member a setup of how to actually set that up and run that session live. So these are the steps the faculty member would need to take. Before the session begins, the instructor would want to connect Ultra into their D2L course, which I'll show you how to do in a second. They also want to set up the session so that those off campus will be able to log in to the session at the appropriate time. And then at the beginning of the class period, when the instructor and the students on campus are in the classroom, before the class period gets started, the teacher will need to go into D2L and open up that Ultra session so that off-campus learners can log in and connect live. The instructor then wants to turn the projector on in the room so that those in the classroom can see it, as well as those online will be able to see the projector and what's on the projector. Once the instructor is in the session, they want to make sure to turn on their audio or video so that those off campus in the Ultra session are going to be able to see and hear the professor. Audio is required, of course, for them to hear the instructor. Video isn't necessarily required. They don't have to have that on. It's optional there. During the session, the instructor can choose to share their screen or upload PowerPoints into the Ultra session. That will allow those off campus to be able to see it because they're sharing their screen or loading the files within the session. Since all of this is projected through the projector, however, those on campus or in the classroom are also able to see it. So that's allowing both learners to see and hear the same thing. The instructor also wants to record this session so that it will be automatically dropped into the D2L course. That is a feature of Ultra. That's where the recording will be dropped into the D2L course so that anybody in the course can view it. So either those on campus who are on campus that day, or as well as those who are off campus that day will be able to view it. All right, so let's do this setup. So before the session, before this teacher meets live in the session, they want to go ahead and pull the Ultra block into their D2L course. So they want to log into their D2L course. So I'm logged in. I want to go to the content area and I want to make a module. I purposely call it Ultra Meet Live here. You can call it really whatever you want to call it, just so that they know that that's the area where they're going to go to get to the link to meet live. Then you want to choose existing activities and you want to choose external learning tools and Blackboard Collaborate Ultra. Make sure to choose Ultra. Pull that in. Then you'll be able to click on that link and you'll be able to create a session. So we're going to create a session and then we'll name it. I would name it by the date. So, Monday, July 20th at 10 a.m. I would name it whatever the date is for that session. You can really name it whatever you want to, but that's going to let the students know what session they're supposed to be in. So you put the start and end date of the session. So say it starts now and it ends, I'll give myself a good while, but yours, will probably be an hour or so, but I'm going to give myself a little while. So you put in the start and end date, and then you just want to create that session so that it is ready to go. So now the session is already set up so that the students will be able to access this, as well as you as the instructor will be able to access this when you go into the classroom and you're ready to teach. Now, if you know that you're going to be doing this every day of the week or every Monday or whatnot, you can go ahead and set up the rest of the sessions for the whole semester. You can go to create a session and go ahead and make all those different session links if you want to go ahead and do it, if you know that you're going to be doing that throughout the semester. So now for the faculty member as well as for the students that are off campus that are going to be accessing the information this way, the way that they access the link when it's ready for the instruction to begin is they log into D2L, they go to content, they go to the Ultra meeting, they choose Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, they'll find the appropriate session, and they will choose to join the session. In just a second, I'm going to show you what it looks like in the actual classroom, but for the sake of being able to view the screen perfectly clear, I'm going to do it this way as well. So let's pretend we're in the classroom and we're ready to start our session. So we've turned on our projector, we're standing at the teacher podium. Our students that are in the classroom are sitting in the classroom. So what do I need to do to connect in my students who are online? So I need to log into my D2L, go to the content area, go to Ultra, click on the session, and join it, as will the students on the other end at their homes or wherever they're doing it from afar will be doing as well. So we're joining the session. I want to make sure to allow it to use my microphone and my microphone and my webcam that you'll see in a second that are located on the computers in the classroom. And so to speak to my students online, I want to make sure that I have this share audio turned on. Now, because while you're able to just speak in the classroom and the people in the classroom are able to hear you, you have to turn this on for the students online to be able to hear you. So you'll turn this on and pretty much leave it on the whole time while you're teaching. So you want to make sure to turn that on. Additionally, if you do this purple pullout, you'll be able to see who is in the session by going to this attendees area. This attendees area will give you a listing of who is in the class in the online session. So if you're wondering who has joined the session online, you'll have a listing there. Something you might want to just keep open is this chat area. So, of course, you're talking to the students, so there might not necessarily be a reason for you to chat with them, but students can chat with you. So, online students can chat here, and you'll be able to see it posting here. When a student posts, if you have your volume turned up on your speakers, you'll hear a little chime, which will alert you to know that somebody has asked a question. But if you keep it open right here, you might have a student in the audience just kind of, say, hey, somebody asked a question, or just kind of watch this feed to see if somebody online is asking a question. The online students can text chat this way, as well as they can also turn on their audio and speak as well. So that might be another avenue for them to communicate. Now, for you to share your content with both groups of students, you're going to use this purple pullout, go to the third icon over, which is share content. Now, say that you want to share the whiteboard. You want to write on the whiteboard with the students. So you have two ways to do this. One way to do this is to use the actual whiteboard in the classroom. So say that at the teacher station in the regular classroom behind you is a whiteboard. You're able to write on that whiteboard. Obviously, the students in the classroom are going to be able to see you, but you're able to come here and you're going to be able to choose share camera, and I'll be able to share my camera. So I'm sharing my camera now. So let's pretend like there was a whiteboard behind me. I would be writing on the whiteboard. And then, of course, the students in the classroom could see me, and then the people behind me could see me or in the session. Now, you want to make sure if you're doing this that you're writing relatively large. You're using dark colors for them to be able to see. And you want to just kind of keep a watch on it to see, am I able to see the words and what I'm writing on the board. And you want to make sure it's in the zone that is on the camera. In these webcams, you can actually pick up and move around a little bit within reason. They are a little bit mobile, so you can kind of move them or adjust them around a little bit to see on the screen. So that's one option. If the whiteboard is really close to your camera or within your camera view, you can do the share camera to be able to see that whiteboard. So that's one option. Another option is to actually use the whiteboard tool, which again is on the purple pullout whiteboard tool. And here I'm writing on the screen. And my students, of course, in the classroom are able to see it because it's coming through the projector. So this is on the projector screen. Since I'm using the whiteboard within Ultra, the students online are able to see this as well. So that's another avenue for them to be able to, for you to be able to write on the board and then be able to see it. Now, what if you want to pull up a website or a Word document or something like that to review in class, or D2L, or anything like that? So to pull that up, you just want to use your purple slide out, share your screen, and you want to share your screen. And then you'll be able to actually see your screen, and you can move around to different pieces of content, go to whatever website you want to go to. And the students in the classroom are able to see this through the projector because this is what's projecting on the board. But then the students in the classroom or in the online session are also able to see it like so because they're seeing it within the session. So that's the way you can share your screen. The last thing that you might want to do is to share your files. And so again, that's the purple pullout, share files. You would upload your PowerPoint or PDF from your classroom. So I'll just pull up, anything will really work here. So I just pull up my PowerPoint, and this is within Ultra. And so when I share this now, I'm sharing it not only will the students in the classroom be able to see this because it's through the projector, but my online students are able to see it as well. And while you're doing this, you want to make sure to record this session. So to do that, you do this pull out right here and then start recording. And then that way it's recording for everyone. And so I'll show you really quickly before we switch to seeing it in the classroom what this recording looks like once it is complete. So once it is complete, you will go into your D2L area. The students can also get to it this way. Everyone will be able to go to content. Everyone will be able to go to Ultra. Everyone will be able to go to this little menu right here and go to recordings, and they'll be able to click and view this recording right here. This would be for students who were in the classroom during the session or people who were online during the session. As long as they're in the D2L class, they'll be able to watch this recording of the session. So now let's flip to see what it looks like in the actual classroom. Again, the tools that I'm going to go over are just the same as what I did, but I want you to see what it looks like in the actual classroom. Hi, okay, so we're now in the actual classroom. So I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like in a live setting. So I'm in an actual classroom. I have my projector on. I'm logged into D2L and I'm in the content area. So I would come over and I would choose Blackboard Ultra. And I would choose to launch my session. So here's the session we just made and we're going to join it. So this is what you would do at the beginning of the session as your other students are coming in the actual classroom. You will go ahead and join this so that your online students are in the classroom. Okay, so you want to make sure to start the recording, of course. So we come to the top here, do start recording. So we've started our recording. We want to make sure to turn on our audio down here at the bottom so that they can hear us through the speakers, because obviously the people in the room can hear us, but we want to make sure that the people online are going to be able to hear us. So to share your screen, you're going to come over here and you're going to go to the third icon over here. So we're going to do share screen, and we'll be able to share our screen. And so by sharing your screen within the classroom, on the projector within the Ultra classroom, you are making it so all students are able to see it. So obviously the students in the classroom are able to see this screen that we're looking at right now. So they're obviously able to see it here. But because I am screen sharing, those in the session are also able to see my screen. And so from here, since I am sharing this session, those in the classroom are also seeing my screen. So you're kind of getting it twofold. So you can share your screen that way. And again, that was just that purple pull out here on the side. We did the purple pull out, share content at the bottom, and then share application screen to share that screen. Now, if I wanted to share my camera, I also do the same thing. Do this purple pull out, share camera, and then I want to pull that camera in. So I want to make sure that this webcam is connected. So on each computer in the various classrooms, there should be a webcam here, and it should just be kind of at the top of the computer. In some places, it might be on a particular post or something that's been there, but somewhere in the vicinity should be a webcam. And you want to make sure that it is up and ready to go that's what you're going to use for them to see you as well as to hear you, because there is a speaker built into this. So that's where your audio is going to pull from your students to hear it. So in order to share our video for the students to see us through the camera here, our online students, within the Ultra session, you're just going to go to the Share Files area, or I'm sorry, you're going to go to the Share area, and you're going to choose to share your camera. And so that's going to share the camera for me. So if you notice here on the screen, it is sharing my video here. So you can see me in the webcam here, which means my online students can see me as well as the students in my classroom. So if you have a whiteboard behind you, this would be a place where you could write, on the whiteboard. If this were a whiteboard, you could write here. You just want to be careful that you are writing large enough and with dark colors, as well as that you just kind of keep an eye on it, because again, what you see is what they're seeing. So you want to make sure that you're able to see what is on the screen as well. So that way your students in the classroom are able to see it because you're writing on the whiteboard behind you, as well as your students online are able to see it. Now in my particular case, I can't do that because this is not a whiteboard. This is just a regular wall. So how can I write on my whiteboard, and how can I write so that my students can see it, and my online students can see it, and my on-campus students can see it? So in that case, what I can do is I can use my whiteboard area. So I can go to my share tools and choose to share a whiteboard. Now what this is doing is giving me a whiteboard in the Ultra session. And what I'm able to do here is write on this whiteboard. So I'm able to write here on it. And my students in the classroom and online here are able to see it because we're sharing the whiteboard here, as well as obviously those in the classroom are able to see it because they can see it through the projector. So there's two ways to do writing. You can either use the whiteboard tool in Ultra or in your web conferencing system to write, or you can write on an actual whiteboard in your classroom as long as the webcam is facing it and the online students can see it. So those are two ways to use the Ultra tool, is to do the whiteboard area as well as to share your screen so that whatever's on the projector is being shared within the classroom. So if you want to share your PowerPoint, same process. You just do the pullout. You would share your files and you would upload a PowerPoint. So I would pick a PowerPoint file that I have. And again, I'm sharing it through the Ultra session. So I'm not just pulling it up on the whiteboard in PowerPoint. I have to be in my Ultra session and share it through there for my online students to be able to see it. Because whatever you pull up on the screen, your on-campus students are going to be able to see it. It's just a matter of what my online students are able to see. Okay, so I'm sharing it within my session. So notice I'm in Ultra and I'm sharing my PowerPoint, which means that students within the classroom can see it, as well as those in the session are able to see it. I'm able to just move through the different slides and everyone's able to see it. Now there is also a chat area to where students may chat with you who are online students. So they can come and say hello or whatnot, and that will appear as a slide out right here. So it might be that as you're teaching, you just want to keep an eye out for that, kind of have that panel open so that you can see that hello area or whatever that they're saying to you. If you have your audio, if you have your speakers on, you'll hear a little ding, a little chime to know. It also might be that you have somebody in the classroom, a person in the classroom, kind of watch out for that. So as you're teaching, you kind of have somebody in the classroom looking out for those questions that are coming up. So students can ask questions, the online students can ask questions either by just typing in the chat, or they can actually turn on the audio and speak to you. So either way will work for that, but again, a lot of them are going to be using that chat area, the hello chat right there, the little text chat area. So that's kind of an overview of the main ways you can use Ultra or any web conferencing system within the classroom.
you'll be able to do that here from within the session. So you just want to make sure that whatever you're sharing it within Ultra or the web conferencing session, so your online students can see it.